Oh, I heard about this. They made workshop where you have to LOS instead of being able to like still hit it. I understand why they did that change, but it feels so bad. Like LOSing or just let's just say AFKing is a feeling that is universally terrible. There's so many examples of this. Every raid boss where you have to LOS, people hate that part of the fight. You guys remember Necrotic? Why did people hate Necrotic? For a few reasons, but one of them was tanks had to just go fucking AFK and let that shit fall off, and just AFKing feels like shit. The tanks that were able to cheese it with like immunes and stuff, it didn't really matter for them because they didn't have to AFK, you know? And same thing with melee. Like when melee had to do, what was that one affix? Storming? Yeah, storming and spiteful. Why did people hate spiteful? Well, because if you were a melee, a lot of the times you just had to AFK because spiteful existed, right? So them creating a scenario where you 100% have to LOS just feels terrible. There's never a scenario of that not being true. But I know why they made the change, because whenever there's like a certain way to do a boss where like you can ignore or cheese a mechanic, it's not a universal thing that everyone's experiencing. Like if they feel like Cujo is really difficult for people and there's like you don't know if you're gonna be able to LOS it or not because it requires some specific tank positioning on the corner, and like it's frustrating when it happens or doesn't happen, so they're like, okay, we're gonna standardize that, let's just not make it happen and nerf the health of the boss. But everyone who has figured it out is like, well, this sucks because now we have to do the bad thing every time. It doesn't matter that he has less HP. It's just like not playing your characters sucks, you know? I think, I'm just guessing, but I think that would be their argument as to why they did it. Like a lot of times I know some people think this and they're just like, well, why did they make this change? It's like, well, Blizzard just doesn't want us to have fun. It's like, well, it's usually not that simple. Like it's usually they're trying to solve some kind of a problem, and sometimes they solve it the wrong way and make it worse or make it less fun and stuff like that. But like that one, I think I get why they did it. That's probably the argument they would make, but I also think it was a bad change because we're like halfway through the season, right? Like, are we halfway through the season? Is that true? I don't even know if that's true. But we're here in the season, and it just seems like an anti-fun change. Also, I will say, as a tank, I haven't done it this season, but I did it a lot during the BFA MDI. Getting the boss into that position as a tank is like fun. It's like a nice challenge to like, because it's not always the same, because it happens a lot of times right after the leaps. And like you only have a certain amount of time to get it in range of the thing from the leap. So like you have to improvise a little bit on exactly the best way to consistently let your DPS hit and you hit during it. And I always found that really fun. But I bet the reality is, especially if you go into lesser skilled groups, I bet the whole I can potentially hit it if I find... There's a really good weak aura for it where it just pops up the little shrouded icon when you're actually LOS. But like I bet a lot of people were dying to that, just trying to do it and not knowing if they were actually safe. It's like definitely a janky mechanic at a high level that people figured out and was fun, but I bet it was like really really frustrating, which is why they removed it. But again, it's gonna, if you had figured it out, it's gonna suck real bad.